I think I'll start us off with a would you rather. So,
Okay.
would you rather every time you approach a woman for conversation, you have to say, I'm not a threat to you, or every time you purchase a product with cotton in it, you have to say, I'm sorry.
Oh, come on, Mark.
Well, I think the first one, I do that already, so I don't know what the problem is. That's
Yep.
literally how I flirt with people. Because there's nothing sexier than feeling safe.
Absolutely, Jack.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
That's why I'll
Why don't you just say it, Jack?
I'll pull out a condom in front of them and be like, look, safe. I am safe.
Walking up the stairs with like your girlfriend, you're like, do you have protection? And it's like, why? What's up there?
Actually, really brave thing I did the other week was I got trapped in my bathroom for about 5 minutes longer than I was planning to be because a literally the size of my hand huntsman spider crawling along the floor there. Granted, at first I was shocked. A bit of a sitting on the toilet on my phone, look to the side there because my bathroom door's like right there, and I just see it crawl through. I'm like, I'm stuck here forever now. I'm banished to my bathroom. That spider,
We call him Hunty.
Yeah, call them hunties. The moment it turned and saw my existence, it freaked out. It literally jumped in fear of me.
Oh my God.
It literally like turned and started crawling and like jumping at the wall. It's like it forgot that it could climb walls. And it literally
Get me out!
jumping at the wall like a freaking cat in a bathtub and you turn the bath water on. It was so funny, but also I was still very much I
I was
swear
shitting myself on the toilet.
I couldn't.
It really
'cause I
helped
already
things
had.
along.
No, but like, yeah, I was surprised at how much arachnophobia I actually have. Anyway, yeah, my housemate ended up being the one to try to, as it eventually crawled away under the door again. I slowly got back in the hallway, told my housemate about it, being like, hey, there's a giant ass huntsman in the house somewhere now, just so you know. They tried to grab some giant cardboard and a container to try and, take it outside, but as they tried to walk towards it, again, it must have been drunk or something because it is, as it's crawling around along the hallway, it's also jumping in the air. Like it thinks that if it jumps hard enough, it's going to suddenly land on a wall somewhere. Yeah, it's going to fly away.
Yeah.
It's literally jumping around. And what does my housemate do? Accidentally encourages it into my office space.
Nice.
In my office room, of which when we open the door, we can't see it anywhere.
Nice.
It's gone. And they're just like, well, good luck with it, and just passes the stuff to me. So there's a huntsman still in my house to this day somewhere. It's been about 3 days now. I have not seen it since.
I want to start. Me. Choose me.
Better not be one I've already picked.
No, you wouldn't have picked this one. All right. This is actually from the True Off My Chest subreddit.
Oh,
it's titled,
branching out.
I don't want my wife, who changed her mind about having more kids, treat this decision as a neutral thing and made it clear that I need her to hold space for my grief. It's very Cynthia and Ariana Grande coded.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one? It's like, we're holding space for our fans.
Oh, yeah, holding space. Yes.
So before we got married, my wife and I were very aligned on having multiple children. We talked about it as a real part of our future. We are financially very comfortable, work isn't a limiting factor, and building a larger family was something that I genuinely looked forward to and planned my life around. After our first child, my wife changed her mind. Pregnancy and childbirth were much harder on her than she expected, and she now feels strongly that she's done. I respect that. I'm not trying to pressure her into another pregnancy or argue about her bodily autonomy. What I'm struggling with is everything after that decision. Her decision changed the course of my life too, and what I envisioned, so I need her to see it. For me, this wasn't just, okay, we'll have one instead of 2 or 3. It felt like losing an entire future that I had already mentally committed to, and I feel like I'm expected to just accept that quietly and move on because she had a valid reason for changing her mind. Our couples therapist encouraged me to open up, and I told her that I need her to acknowledge that by changing her mind, I lost something real, and that loss matters, even if she had every right to make the choice she did. I don't want this to be something that I mull over while we pretend everything's fine. I need us to actually tend to it, not sweep it under the rug. So our therapist suggested to my wife that she does regular check-ins about how I'm coping and the ability to grieve it without being framed as me trying to pressure or guilt her into changing her mind. I also told her that since the future we originally planned to is not happening, I need the new one to actively include things that give my life the meaning that I thought a larger family would provide. Not vague someday ideas, but real priorities. For example, I'd like us to be deeply involved in my niece's and nephew's life, which means showing up consistently, helping with education, being a real secondary support system, not just seeing them on holidays. I also want our home to be a place where people gather regular dinners, holidays, open doors, so life doesn't shrink inward into just the three of us. Where we really clash is emotional labor. I told her not to shut the conversation down, minimize my feelings, or frame my sadness as manipulation. Instead, I need her to stay present even when it's uncomfortable, allow the topic to come up more than once, and sometimes acknowledge the loss herself, something as simple as saying, I know this cost you something real, and I don't want to pretend it didn't. I also said that staying together means that this can't be a situation where I absorb the loss and she experiences this as neutral. That may mean accepting limits on other life preferences, like career moves, lifestyle choices, or making room for things that inconvenience her but help restore balance. I'm not asking for another child. What I didn't say was, have another baby or else. But I did say that she can't say, this was my choice, so deal with it, and still expect our relationship to stay the same. She feels like I'm asking for too much, and that this makes her feel guilty for making a deeply personal decision after a difficult pregnancy. I disagree because I need her to work to get my trust after making such a big decision. Top comment, may this love never find me.
Oh. So just to get clear on the context here. So she had a difficult pregnancy.
Yep.
They had one kid, and she doesn't want to have any more now.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and he was hoping to have more than that. I was going to say, like, even with how complicated this sort of situation is, because, again, end of the day, her body, her choice, I really admire this guy's communication of themselves in the situation. Because end of the day, he also is very valid with how he's feeling and, you know, what he was aspiring to have in his life. And yes, they're a partnership that goes both ways, though. And even if, yes, her body, her choice, she gets to do what she wants regardless, there's still the fact that, okay, she gets to do that, but she also has to consider that by doing that, that changes his own personal trajectory of what he wants in his life. And you have to understand that, yeah, you making that choice is going to affect what he was aspiring to have in his life. And if you're not willing to find some sort of compromise together, then you have to accept that, yeah, then he has a right to not want to be a part of this relationship anymore.
I think that's fine. But at the same time, I think with him, if she doesn't agree to that, she can also leave the relationship.
That's what I mean. Yeah. But obviously, it's so easy to say. They're like, oh,
I get
hey,
that.
you guys don't like this situation, then both just leave. You know, it's
just like,
they have a kid.
It's a situation where there has been a traumatic pregnancy, and I don't think that I would ask her to go through that again.
Yeah,
if I was in, I'm like, okay, you're really fucked up after that. You know, you might have died with this. Okay, completely unacceptable to ask you to go through that again if that's not what you want to do.
Yeah.
I think at that point, you just open up potentially just adopting.
Yeah.
At that point, that's a
obviously
healthy...
adoption is complicated, but
it is. If both of you still want a child, that is a middle ground. But if, I don't know, I feel like the OP in this situation is being a bit unreasonable with his demands for all of this to happen because he still wants this to happen. I think it's a difficult ask, and I think that if she's not on board with it, it's a situation where we're at a crossroads. We now both have different fundamental relationship values.
Yeah, and
we are not
ideals.
in line anymore. If we can't find a middle ground and a compromise on this, then this might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Where there wasn't so much of a problem before, but maybe there is unreasonable expectations and unreasonable demands being made, because I will just say that this is a very, very unpopular post. Wow. Everyone is saying that they disagree with the OP. So things like, honestly, if I was your wife, I would be scared. You sound like a monster. Why don't you leave her and marry someone else instead of holding a painful and difficult choice over her head? Fuck you and every man who thinks they deserve any part of a woman. You're so toxic. I don't know, man. If I saw my wife having a traumatic pregnancy, I would never ask her to do that again. And if she wanted to, I would be worried about her well-being every single day, because to me, she's not an incubator. She's a love of my life, and I would want to put her and my child first, not some hypothetical family that doesn't exist, but the one that I have. It seems like you are punishing her and using therapy speak to justify it.
Ooh. That's a good point. I think it also matters what part does he partake in when it comes to, the pregnancy and that kind of stuff. Because it's one thing if you're a person who's clearly all about just, my legacy. It's another if he's like an absolutely doting on her 24/7 in terms of like making sure she's as comfortable and stable as possible throughout the whole 9 months. Yeah, I think it doesn't help him in this case that a lot of the things he's mentioned are merely suggestions that she's clearly taking on board as a list that she has to meet, rather than like he's just sort of like making this suggestion and then this suggestion, but she's taking it as like, you have to do both these things for me now. Because it sounds like he himself doesn't really know what she can do to bring that balance for him into the relationship.
It's like, I wanted a big family. How can I have that big family without physically having a big family?
Yeah. And that's like, I
get that, but at the same time, the way he's communicating that in the second half of the post, it started actually pretty good in the first half, and I think that's where we get mixed up with, okay, maybe I can give it a pass to this second half of the post. Not so much. I think you have to separate the two, because it started out well, and then the second he's just like, and then I got a therapist on board with this, and the therapist is going to help me 2v1 her to be on my side and be like, what I'm asking for isn't actually too much.
Like, I mean, in a way, I personally don't feel like it is too much not in the fact of give me kids or else, but in the fact of I want to have a big family dynamic experience as my life. Is that something you are willing to try to create with me? And, if not, then that's like, she shouldn't be, I think, it's a very tricky thing, because how do you converse that with a partner who, for a valid reason, doesn't want to have more kids? But how do you converse that is what you've been wanting in a relationship? That's what you aspire for in a relationship. That is like your motivation to be with someone, because you want to have a community of a family. How do you communicate that without making them feel guilty that they don't want to give you that directly? So you be like, hey,
I don't think you can.
Yeah,
I don't think you can.
How about we passively, we indirectly create that vibe, but maybe we be the people in the neighborhood who always host community events, something like that. Like,
I feel like it's always going to have that little twinge of it's being held over your head.
Yeah.
Even if you're not saying it, I think it's being not even passive aggressively. It's just being passively mentioned, because it's always there. It's like, well, since we can't have babies, how about we do this instead? I feel like it's, I don't know, it might not always come across like that. Maybe that is just very pessimistic of me, but I think it becomes a relationship challenge. And if you're not willing to adopt, and I understand adoption is hard, but if you're not willing to do that or find other avenues together, it might just be a relationship impasse where you probably, after some time, it's not going to work out, because you have, both of you were on the same trajectory, and then it wasn't her fault that she had a traumatic pregnancy. I think it's going to break eventually. She has been against her will forced to have to take another stance, and it's not in
Yeah.
line with him anymore.
Okay, ridiculous suggestion. They get a surrogate. And so
That works though.
like,
it's really expensive.
Okay, is she fine to have, like, if the only barrier here right now is the fact that, her body is traumatized from having a child, then try to have a child through other means. Obviously more expensive, but then that could be the father's, like, or the OP here, that could be his willingness. Like, if you're willing to do this, man, then you make the suggestion. You offer this idea up. You be willing to take most of the cost for it.
Yep.
Because, like, I kind of feel like that's a valid compromise to make in a way. Again,
It's a hard one. Yeah.
But I feel at the same time, though, with how he's already approached it, he's probably already screwed that opportunity over because she already feels like, he just sees me as an incubator. And it's like, well, it's not that. It's that he wants to have a family, like, I don't know. I think I am going to be that person on the side of things where I say he's valid to want things. It's just the way he's gone about it he's made too much of a what about me? It isn't fair kind of stuff rather than actually being like, okay, you've had a valid experience here. Let me work on myself and what I need from a relationship and like what I can find in this dynamic that can still make it work for me, or at least how I can find ways that still don't risk your life and safety while at the same time we still get to have what I literally have been aspired to have a relationship for in the first place. Like, that's the thing. I think he needs to reflect on himself a bit more before approaching her about the fact that that she's doing what she is allowed to do with her own body. Yeah.
Well, I think that's enough said. I think we can move on, Jacko.
Tell me I'm a sexist in the comments.
Let's go.
Okay, I love this one because the title immediately has like a wait.
Hold up. Hear me out.
Yeah. This is am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend I no longer plan to propose to her? Please read context.
Wait.
Wait. I'm 28 and my girlfriend is 27. We've been together for almost 3 years and we live together. We've got a pretty solid relationship going on. No cheating or drama. We've both got good jobs. We talk about the future and our families get along great. As far as I was concerned, we were doing all right. The only small issue has been the whole engagement proposal thing. I'm not against marriage. To be honest, I've been looking forward to it and had a ring picked out. But I wanted it to be a surprise, so I didn't give her a specific date. I told her it was coming though, and I thought we were on the same page. But over the past 6 months, she started to get more and more fixated on it. At first, it was just normal conversation. Then it turned into a bunch of little jokes and comments about when I'd finally put a ring on it. Lately, though, it's been on her mind 24/7. Anything we disagree on gets turned into some variation on, this is why you haven't proposed yet. Oh no,
God.
Self-fulfilled prophecy.
Oh my God.
Last week when I saw a message preview on her iPad, I clicked on it.
You keep going. I just got to fix something.
Okay. I clicked on it. I know I shouldn't have. And saw a group chat with her friends. They're all discussing how to manipulate me into proposing. Things like giving me the cold shoulder. I want my partner to be more inspired to propose to me, so I'm going to seem like a worse partner.
I'm going to ignore him.
Yeah.
This is going to work out well.
Not putting in any effort as a partner, making me feel like I've done something wrong, no physical intimacy, and so on.
That's just negging.
Yes.
You just can't do that. It's not healthy.
Why would you think that would inspire someone to want to commit to you by being a terrible quality partner? Anyway,
If I withhold all affection and love, maybe they'll change.
Yeah,
maybe they'll work for it.
I think that OP's girlfriend's friends are like 8 years old. Anyway, they were even talking about using her birthday as a deadline and making it clear to me that there were other options on the table if I didn't come through. Jesus Christ.
These friends hate her. These friends hate her.
Her friends are single. Her friends are single.
These are bad friends. Holy fuck.
I'm not upset that she wants me to marry her. Before this, I really did want to marry her. But now, I am questioning whether or not I should really spend the rest of my life with someone who might manipulate me.
Or is this gullible? And this easily manipulated by her friends.
Yes, true. Granted, I feel that is more innocent because, to be fair though, all of these manipulation tactics are being suggested by her friends. They are not being proposed to, they're not being proposed by the girlfriend specifically. So there's that to consider. Anyways, I asked her straight out if she'd been trying to get me to propose by using all these weird tricks. And when she said, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Which is yeah, of course I have.
Okay, so
what
she
are you
is
dumb?
a manipulator. Never
What
mind.
am I dumb?
Ignore that caveat. She's just as bad as her friends.
Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out.
She said, yeah, she'd been trying to get some clarity and not waste any more time. Basically, that I should just propose already because if I was serious, I'd have already done it. I told her, I'm not proposing, especially if I'm being coerced into doing it. Basically, I told her if she keeps trying to manipulate me like that, I'm basically off the proposal train. Now she's going around saying I'm punishing her for having some standard relationship needs and that I'm just dangling marriage as a way to control her because I'm not proposing fast enough. Okay, this isn't a manipulator. This is a narcissist or something.
How did you not realize you were dating like the devil incarnate?
Yeah, wow.
That's crazy, guys. I just didn't notice the horns and the tail until like she said these words and they just magically appeared.
All her friends think I'm the bad guy because I'd looked at her private messages. Fair enough, I get it. She wants to know when we're going to be engaged. I get that 3 years is a reasonable amount of time to start feeling some anxiety about when things are going to get serious. But you can't force someone to marry you. And most importantly, it just made me realize that our relationship has been treated like some kind of game by her. Am I the a-hole for telling her I'm not considering proposing for now after this? Like, now I feel like Opie hasn't, like, they didn't say there that they said for now. They just said they're not proposing anymore. That doesn't really help the situation because now she's most likely just going to be doubling down on all this behavior because it's like, well, why should I bother, you know, even trying to be a good partner with you now if we're not even going to go anywhere in the future at this point?
I just feel like he's soft launching the breakup.
Yeah, that like it doesn't.
I think
help.
he's worded it really particularly here, and it says, "I'm not doing it anymore."
Yeah.
When someone acts like this, I think you question: should I be marrying a person like this? Do I actually like them anymore? If this is how they truly are, and they've switched up after 3 years and just started acting erratically like this, do I trust them? Can I trust her? I know that there's the whole argument of like, oh, you snooped through her phone and everything, but I feel like people snoop when they have good reason to, and she very much gave him good reason to. She started acting crazy, and you're like, wow, something must have happened over these last 6 months. I've given her time to just be like, is this a phase? Is she just having a bad week?
Yeah.
But no, 6 months of this behavior, I'd be like, what is going on? Is there a particular reason? I'm going to look through her phone and be like, has something changed?
Yeah.
I'll give him a pass for it in this one because that's 6 months is too damn long to be acting like this.
Yeah.
I don't like her. I don't think he's an asshole. I think he should get out of there.
Now, okay, so there's a lot of comments really against OP about this. Some bring up that I believe this is called future faking, and you kind of just got called out for it. And I can understand that, the idea that like it's taking you. You said you're going to propose for like the last. Oh no, hang on. What's what? I'm not against marriage. To be honest, I'm looking forward to it. I told her it was coming though, and I thought we were on the same page. So they've been together for almost 3 years. So he hasn't been promising a proposal
Almost
for the last 3 years.
is not that much for a proposal. I mean, it's like a standard
that's
time.
The thing. That's 3 years of dating, not 3 years of promising to propose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for all we know, it's probably a proposal in the last year, and then 6 months, well, the last 6 months. So basically, after 6 months of him possibly suggesting the idea of proposing and saying he's open to it and keen on it, she's now doing all these games and tactics. So yeah, we're like technically we're not even into the 3rd year yet. Oh, sorry, we're not even into the 4th year yet. This is almost 3 years, so maybe 2.9 at most.
I think she's being crazy.
So honestly, I'm sure some people are gonna be like, oh, 3 years? You should be, I was really proposing by now. But it's not 3 years yet. It's coming up to 3 years, of which he said he's keen on it and he's interested in it. So I don't know. I don't think this is future faking legitimacy. Some people are saying like, I've been with an ex for 6 years when I learned he was never going to propose. That's valid. 6 years and not bothering to say, hey, we're this long now. Clearly I want to be with you for much longer. Let's go for it. Otherwise I should just, want to break up because you clearly want marriage and I don't. Like, that's future faking, absolutely. But 3 years and only deciding to suggest that they're proposing possibly within the last year? Nah, that's not future faking. I'd say that's too much. Someone who's clearly chasing marriage is more of a career thing than an actual, like, I want to be with you because I love you and I want you to propose to me.
And that's why we also have common law marriage here in Australia as well.
What's common law marriage?
If you've been with them living in the household together for long enough, you are legally also considered married for all of those, so that people can't do this future faking on you and just kick you out.
Right. That's great.
Properties that you buy together, any big purchases together are considered yours legally under common law marriage just because of cohabitation and things like that.
There you go. So turns out you don't even have to worry about getting married or not, because if you live long enough together, you technically own the assets together in a way. I mean, obviously depending on, but obviously marriage is probably more secure.
The problems that come up with this like marriage baiting, things like that are solved under common law marriage, where it's like whatever worries you do have among like property or anything like that, at least that is there.
Right, there you go. So there you go, folks. Don't date anywhere else. Move to Australia and start dating guys here. And
I'm severely misquoting it. I am not a lawyer. It's just that I know common law marriage exists.
This is full 100%.
Trust me.
This is legal advice.
You can use this in a court of law.
You can?
Yeah. /S.
Date Australian.
S.
Go to Australia. Date Australian men. They can't get away with this then, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, someone said here, if you told her a proposal was coming soon, she was probably getting antsy. Have you even actually bought a ring yet? You just said you picked one in the post, but not that you bought it. If it's been 6 months, it's not surprising she is getting like that. If you don't want to actually propose and be with her, you should just break up.
And I'm advocating for him to break up with her now, because I feel like she's acting unreasonably.
Like, I think too, even in the case of him like saying that, wow, I've just found out you've been trying to manipulate me over the last 6 months just to get me to propose. He hasn't helped himself in, communicating that, like, hey, I love you and I want to marry you at some point. Like, I want this to be our next step. He's probably wanting to, like, for all we know, he's wanting to save up for it, maybe around the right time. Maybe he's got other things going on in their life right now that he's wanting to prioritize. They've recently been moving in and living together.
But this is all the assumptions and making an ass out of you. Jack, unless it's specifically stated in the post exactly what he said, bar for bar, word for word, we can't make assumptions.
Well, that's the thing.
Because we're doing the whole missing reasons thing, so we can assume normal human behavior, all right? But unless Reddit has specifically said it, we have to just be like, well, it wasn't said. We only know her side of the story, so she bad. Can you tell I'm a little bit jaded from my comments as of late? I wouldn't worry about it.
It's just like, well, he hasn't helped himself here because all he's done has been like, he's reacted emotionally to the situation without actually communicating to her why what she's doing is so wrong and why it doesn't at all help the situation.
I'll agree with you there.
Yeah.
He hasn't specifically stated that he's like, can we just slow down? Yeah. I'm feeling a bit pressured. I was going to do it on my own time, but then you changed up in behavior and it gave me some red flags.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give it time to see if this was just a little bump in the road that we have, because I don't want to basically propose while I feel like we're going through a rough patch.
Yeah.
I'd like us to go back to normal like we were before, and then I'll feel comfortable to propose. That's why I didn't do it. But I also didn't communicate with you that I'm not going to propose until this rough patch is gone.
Yeah.
And we just had a big old miscommunication where we've both been wanting two different things.
Yeah. Like, it could say like, hey, no, you're right. Think like you have a right to call me out on this, that I've made this promise or this intention and I haven't followed through with it when I reasonably should have by now. Let me reflect on why that is the case. Let me figure that out and then communicate that to you. Instead, he's like, I found evidence that you're actually a bit of a see you next Tuesday, so...
But then she's like, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And that's where I have the problem here. Because she doesn't give context, and she's like, I'm doing this because I was fed up with you taking so long, so I was giving hints all the time.
I'm doing this because I want something. Now give it to me. Yeah. Even though I literally just proved why I technically don't deserve this from you, because I'm possibly going to be someone who uses this sort of stuff in our relationship for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, and it's like, when is this going to keep happening in the future? I don't want this to keep happening, but it's a consequence of not having honest, open communication with the both of each other until it's exploded.
I feel like, honestly, with so many comments here saying Yatar, these are the same kind of people that if the girlfriend here in this story ended up up cheating or leaving him for someone else, like within like a week or something, like, oh wow, you moved on way too quickly. Like as almost you had someone on the back burner. They would all be in full support of the girlfriend.
Yes.
They would have been like, oh yes, girl. Yeah, he didn't give you the literal marriage thing because that's clearly all you wanted from him and not actually to be with him.
But if it was a man in the situation doing it,
oh yeah.
there goes my biases again.
And this is why you can't trust women.
All right, next story, I reckon.
Yeah.
This one's by Background Baby 1206 and the Am I the Asshole Here subreddit.
Ooh.
And it's titled, Am I the Asshole Here for calling my wife's friend's dating technique idiotic?
Ooh, I like it.
So my, male 38, wife, female 34, had some of her friends over for dinner, and we're all talking about this and that. One of her friends, female 32, starts talking about how she can't find any good men to stick around.
Sorry, every time I hear that from someone in my social connections, that person always ends up later proving on the night just how much they are not a very appealing person to be around.
Okay. And I'll be sending that video to all of Jack's friends so that we find out who he's talking about and then we can get them on the podcast.
No, like the
and
great
you can
thing is
apologize.
it's more like friends of friends in like a social setting, so I know they'll never see me again. It's great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, look at that. You've just revealed why no guy actually ends up calling you back. Anyway, sorry. I'm
surprised.
Digressing. Yeah.
So we keep on talking about her and her latest dates, and she starts talking about her dating technique. This is essentially to show so this technique is essentially to show as little interest as possible and just to ghost the guys that she likes. Since she wants them to fight for her.
Oh, God.
So I laugh and say that's just plain stupid. And of course she'll not find any good men, since only the bad ones will actually do that. Like, good men who respect you will never keep chasing if you send out the signal that you don't want them. I'm on the spectrum and can have a hard time realizing when people are upset.
Nah, you don't need to be on the spectrum to know how stupid that is.
Yeah, no, well, he didn't recognize how upset she was getting by him saying it like it is.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know. So my wife bumped me and told me to shut up. Later after everyone left, she told me that she agreed with me, but I didn't need to be so blunt about it.
Oh, now that's...
So am I the asshole?
Okay, first of all, that wife is already an a-hole friend, because clearly the only reason you would ever still encourage your friend to still be in that behavior in their dating life is if you find it entertaining hearing about their woes and misery in dating. Like, you literally know for a fact that what they're doing is not helping their case, and yet you're just encouraging them to keep practicing that. Nah, you're not a good friend.
Or if you've told them a million times what you're doing is really stupid.
True.
And they keep doing their technique anyway.
Yep.
At that point, the wife is probably like, it's not even worth.
Yeah.
I've tried. Trust me, I've tried to change her and she won't listen.
That's a good point.
It's not even, there's no point even like telling her that she's wrong at this point because nothing is going to change. It's like, just shut up. She knows. She's just here to blow hot steam out of her mouth.
Yeah, she's here to vent.
And she's just starting a fight with you if you say anything against her. That's a possible another situation that's also happened.
You're adding in missing context, okay? That's not directly in the story, so clearly the wife must be an a-hole.
The missing reasons, Marky! God, stop assuming!
Oh man, just the tactic of ghosting them. It's like the whole thing of when they say like, leave women alone in public, stop approaching them and harassing them and stuff. Like, the only people who are going to be respecting that advice are the kind of men who wouldn't be doing it in the first place. Like it's a moot point, a mute statement to make. And yeah, this whole ghosting them to make them fight for her. The only guys that are worth dating are the guys who are going to respect that if she's not responding to my messages, like if I say, hey, how you doing? And I don't get anything back or I only get like one word responses, to me, that's immediately, nah, not interested. I'm not going to, at this point, anything more could be considered harassment. And she'll either name and shame me to all her friends in the local area. If we go to the same social spaces, I do not want to be painting myself as some sort of creep who doesn't take a subtle no as a no. Like I'm taking that for what I see it as, and I'm not harassing her any further.
Yeah, if you don't pick up on the unsaid social etiquette, then you also just show yourself to be untrustworthy.
Well, yeah.
So it's like I played the game properly. If she had a problem with it, that's her fault.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't play the game with me.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't like, what's the whole thing, like the to and fro sort of thing. There's a term for it.
I get that. The push and pull.
Yeah, but like, when you pull, she's going to want to pull back. If she's not pulling back, then...
It's like, all right, well, I'll find someone that does want to play.
Yeah. Simple. I mean, that's... Is there any controversial comments on that one? I don't think there would be. Surely not. Surely no one's defending the tactic here.
I mean, there's the popular ones. You see, not the arsehole. If yes means yes is to be fully accepted throughout society, then this playing hard to get nonsense needs to die. If anything, OP saved the wife's friend from a type of toxic positivity that would lead her into a lifetime of loneliness without even knowing why. Yeah. I'm only sorry that the wife and her other friends weren't the ones calling her out. They're not very good friends, in my opinion. So that's what you were saying here, whether the wife and everything were like, no, girl, you just need to find the right one that's going to play the game. That's, yeah.
I hate when people be that whole thing of like, hey, just be yourself. You'll find the right person for you. No. If you've been dating or trying to date long enough and you're not getting any luck, there is something about you that you need to fix.
There's a common denominator.
Yeah. Like, okay, if I listen to the whole logic of like, oh, just be yourself, just be who you are, I would still be some low employment loser who just spends all their life gaming. Not saying that if you do game a lot that you're a loser, just that for me, the lifestyle I was living, that dynamic, I was a loser. I was not an appealing person socially. I worked on these things, and now I'm a more appealing person socially, and I have a partner. Like, the idea, no, don't just be yourself. For some people, that works perfectly. If you were born with a genetic lottery, great. Yeah, just be yourself. Some of us have social problems that we're not as good socializing. We have some mental issues that can get in our way sometimes that we need to work on, and that can still get in our way sometimes. We got to be aware of this stuff, people.
Yep.
Don't be yourself. Be your best self. Work on being the best self you can be.
Thanks, Jack.
Yeah. You're not enough is what I'm saying.
So just some more comments on that thread as well.
Yeah.
Many women don't want to hear solutions. They want someone to agree with them. My wife complains a lot about something that I can do in 15 minutes on the computer. When I ask her to help, she tells me she doesn't need my help. She just wants me to agree, or she complains about the job and doesn't want to listen to my suggestions. The same for a bunch of women that I know. Someone else replies to that. I have to say this has taken me a while to realize, but as a serial here's a solution person, I'm slowly appreciating that most of the time people don't want that. They want empathy and for you to listen. Having said that, I don't think of OP as the arsehole here. Her technique is clearly nonsense, and it's doing her no favors to support it. And the fact that she's 32 and still doing it is crazy. Teenagers tend to do it because they're learning and don't know any better. Yeah.
I want to be a bit of a hot take here and say the whole idea that it's a very common thing in women is just personally, I find it an outdated experience. I come across many men who the idea that they get offered a solution that would require some sort of effort on their end or some sort of change of their practice and habits, they don't like that. I've met plenty of guys who just want to be approved of and not actually given a solution on something when they complain about something or just vent about something. Granted, definitely, not as many men compared to women I meet who want that, but I will absolutely vouch for the fact that I think it's more of a human thing than necessarily women versus men sort of thing. I don't know. There's many times where a guy has said something to me where I've been like, oh yeah, what about this then? And like you can tell
the glaze over.
Yeah, you can tell there's a part of them being like, I don't want to do that, though. I don't care.
Can't do that, though.
Yeah, I just want approval for what I'm upset about. It's.
So on that thread, there is an edit to the post. I'll go back to. So it said, this blew up more than I thought it would. I've tried to read most comments, but it's just too much. At the time of writing, there was 1.7 thousand comments. There's now like almost 2,000 comments, so it's still alive. Most of you said I'm not the arsehole, but I will admit that I could have framed it better. I'm on the spectrum, but I'm under the firm belief that while it might explain why I would put my foot in my mouth, it does not excuse it. I showed this post to my wife since some of the comments made me wonder some things. First, being if they never told her this themselves, since it's kind of a dick move on their part. She said they have, though not as bluntly as I did. Just saying that they would never, that would never work as she thought it would, but she just keeps doing it. So they keep telling her that that's not going to work the way that you think it's going to work.
Yeah.
But she ignored them and kept doing it anyway.
Okay.
So my
Yeah.
point of like, I'm guessing that they've already tried it.
Yeah.
And it is still also your point of like, maybe there's toxic positivity. A lot
Yeah.
of commenters obviously brought that up.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
there's just a few more to go. So apparently 3 years ago, she messed up royally on her long-term relationship of 4 years.
Oh, okay. So she had some success. That's good. Okay.
They had a fight. She went out to get some drinks to cool off. And in her anger, she slept with another guy.
Oh my god! In her anger, as if that's some sort of. Oh, it wasn't her.
I was
It wasn't
really
her-
angry,
Yeah.
so I had to get some dig.
It wasn't her choice. It was her anger. It was something else that was out of her control.
So I can see
God.
I don't know who might be the problem in this relationship, guys. So I asked her if she knew if she was really drunk when it happened. Since it does not excuse her actions, it would make her more susceptible to manipulation from bad eggs. According to her friend, she was not drunk, just in an awful place mentally and wanted to punish him. She then felt extremely guilty and told him, and he dumped her.
Good.
Since then, she's had nothing but one-night stands and short-term flings from not-so-good guys. The best one lasted 4 months. But due to bad communication or her way of dating, he thought that they were friends with benefits, and she thought that they were a couple. So when she found out he was sleeping with other people, she was heartbroken. She's really a sweet person. Very bubbly and kind.
Oh.
I
Now
think-
I'm feeling. No, I'm not feeling bad. No, that was her past, and she's clearly regretted it and moved on from it. Okay, no, that's.
Jack holds grudges.
I'm in so many different emotional states with this girl right now.
I think she might have some kind of trauma from her long-term ending the way that it did. My wife doesn't know if she uses this technique before that relationship or if it started after. Anyway, I hope she stops going about it that way and finds someone good. I've told my wife to tell her that I'm sorry for the way that I phrased it. Thanks for the wards. Never got those before.
Yeah, end of the day, as much as I'm calling out her stupidity and her tactic, you know, this is also someone who just wants to be loved. And clearly, but she's just doing it in a very, in the today's environment, just not the right way at all. Like,
No.
all the guys that are worth dating are absolutely taking on board all the commentary of like the feminism and just egalitarianism promotes of just like, you know, you treat each other like human beings. If you're not receiving a hell yes vibe from someone, it's a hell no. And just back off, back away. Women deal with enough shit. Yeah, I hope this girl gets someone. She
I hope
sounds
so
like she
too.
deserves it.
It's just after all of that, the cheating on her ex, man. I hope she's learned her lesson.
Honestly, I honestly think she has. It sounds like she has. 'Cause
No, she's good.
The fact she cheated on him, but then felt the regret and then actually went to him and confessed it. That honestly is very mature.
It's
of
not
her.
as common as you'd think.
Yeah, like she could have easily just hid it. She could have hid it. She could have lied about it the entire time, but she didn't. She confronted her failings, and that's really admirable.
Well, I wish nothing but the best for her. Good luck.
Yeah.
I hope she takes the advice of OP. Because I didn't think he put his foot in his mouth too much. Maybe he was just too blunt.
I think it was too blunt.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm just a really brutally honest guy, you know? Nah, he's chill.
Okay.
Your
Let's get
turn,
on to this
Jacko.
next one. Yep. Am I the a-hole? User used understanding 282. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend, 30 male, that I, 29 male, think him and his mum's relationship is strange? Who's 59 female?
Okay.
I have been really close with my friend Alex for the past 10 years. We went to college together, had our first job together, and just spent a lot of time together. Alex has been dating this girl named Jane, and she's really cool too, and we got to all be good friends. Alex and Jane seem to have a really good relationship, but lately, Jane has been talking to me about stuff that's been bothering her. She's always prefaces it with she loves Alex and think he's a great guy and asks before saying anything since she does not want to come between us. I tell her, sure, and she talks about how Alex's relationship with his mum make her uncomfortable.
Why?
She says they're very physical with each other when she visits his parents. She even pulls him into her bedroom to nap with her. Jane also says his mum calls every day and they talk for hours. She said she has tried to bring it up before, but does not want to anymore since Alex doesn't play about his mum, and she doesn't want to come between them. Now, I didn't think about it too much before, but I am remembering stuff from hanging out with Alex way back when, and his parents. His mum was always friendly, but latched onto Alex, even if her husband was around. Her husband is a pretty quiet dude, so I don't really know him well, but Alex's mum was attached to the hip to him. I remember her asking him questions like, "What kind of girls you hooking up with? Any of them look like me?" in college.
What the hell, bruh? What the hell? No, what is that? That is really gross.
Alex usually honestly went along with it, and looking back at it,
Alex
I find
needs
it really
boundaries.
weird.
Alex needs boundaries.
Alex's mum was in town for a week visiting her mum. Alex and Jane live 5 hours away from Alex's mum, but only 30 minutes away from his grandma. Apparently, they had visited his mum and grandma already earlier in the week. So she's gone out of her way, 5-hour drive to visit her mum, which conveniently is only 30 minutes away from Alex.
Yeah, weird excuse. I mean, it's fine to visit your mum.
Yeah, but she's visiting her family, but also they already visited their family earlier in the week, so she made her way to do another 5-hour trip, another 10-hour back and forth trip.
She just likes hanging out with the family. She's an empty nester. She got nothing else to do. She got time to burn and money to spend, obviously.
Oh, okay, hang on. Halfway into the hangout, Alex gets a bunch of texts and calls and is freaking out a little. Me and Jane keep hearing him apologize over the phone, and when he finally gets off it, we ask him what is up, and he tells us that his mum is upset that he chose to hang out with us over her. I am just so confused by that.
Sorry for having a life, Mum.
They already saw her earlier in the week, and she calls every day? I got really annoyed and maybe said something too quick, but said, "You're 30 years old, man. Why is your mum acting like you're a child? It's really weird." Alex, though, was immediately offended, and we had a bit of a tiff, and Jane tried to defuse it, but did ultimately take my side. Alex is pissed, and I can tell he thinks we are a-holes. But am I the a-hole? Dude, so this is a great example as to how I kind of pity mama's boys to a certain degree, because this is literally emotional incest. This is grooming.
This is emotional incest.
This is a mother who has developed an incestuous relationship towards her own child because she sees him as like, I'm going to make him into the sort of man I'd want to be with. And yeah, it's just creepy, gross. It's the kind of, it's like when a dad makes his daughter his like daddy's little princess, and, you know, threatens any sort of man that dates his daughter and that kind of stuff. And, you know, she turns her into a sort of person who thinks that a man should be her father essentially and just provide for her everything because that's what daddy did for me. Yeah, this is the same thing. It's pathetic, disgusting.
It's also not too different from like parents that want to live vicariously through their kids in like sports and achievements like that. It's like there was a story where the son was riding the post, and it's like, my mum got me into taekwondo, like professional taekwondo, and she really used it to emotionally manipulate him to like, that was the cornerstone of their relationship. It was built on the taekwondo that they were doing, and he just did not like taekwondo. But every time he was like, I don't want to do it, she got really sad and be like, this is really affecting me because I used to do taekwondo as a kid, but I had to give it up because I got pregnant with you.
Oh,
and so like that. And then the better he did in the taekwondo tournaments, the more close she got with him and was like, yes, I'm so proud. Wow. I'm going to frame this in our house. Everything to do with your win is like there, and our relationship is really good now. Very similar vibes to that, like living vicariously through your kid.
It really is like that, except this is just more of an emotionally incestuous angle of it all. Where it's like,
and
there's still creepy.
If I was OP and the woman dating him in this situation, I'd be disgusted by it.
Yeah.
And I would be like, otherwise, you're putting boundaries down now and cutting the apron string and stopping this shit, or I'm out because this is unacceptable.
Yeah.
And you need to learn the hard way that her behavior is not acceptable, and that like, you're 30 years old. This cannot continue. If you want a healthy life, there has to be a hard boundary between you and her.
Yeah. I think partially too, it seems, at least in the good books of this, Alex doesn't seem to be fully, what's the word, brainwashed by her emotional incest behavior. He's clearly preferred to hang out with the friends than with his mother, and now he's dealing with the fallout of that. Like, it doesn't seem like he's been like, oh, I can't hang out, guys. I gotta hang out with my mum.
Yeah,
like,
that's not okay. That's not okay.
He doesn't seem to be really fully groomed into it all, which definitely doesn't, which clearly upsets the mum. So I think there's a light here. There's a light at the end of the tunnel for this relationship and for Alex's own health.
But for me, this is ultimatum territory.
Oh yeah, this is.
There's no way that you can snap him out of it unless you put like a hard threat down.
Yeah, I think there's a part of him that does sort of see all this, but he's like, as long as I don't make it, as long as I don't acknowledge the elephant in the room, the elephant isn't there.
Address me.
Yeah. And the friends are being like, hey, what's that giant grey thing? And he's like, shut up! Don't there!
Don't talk about him.
It's just a window. It's just a window, guys. Yeah. Good luck, man. Good luck to
I
that
have
dynamic.
nothing else to say because I'm just going to keep being angry about this.
Yeah, well, the thing is, he's going to have to almost go no contact with her because there's no way this mother is going to be like, oh, no. I'll respectfully distance myself from you.
She's kept the charade going until he's 30. This is never going to get better.
No.
I do not believe that there is any salvaging it. It at a minimum, extremely low contact with her.
Yeah.
But good luck. I say good luck to that man. And I say good luck to this next couple that I'm going to be reading. Ooh. Hell yeah. By user Attack This Sock. Titled, Am I the asshole here for pointing out to my fiance that if she wants kids, she actually has to have sex with me?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh! Again, this is just like the whole, hey, are you manipulating me into propose? Yes, now you should propose because you should feel bad about that. It's like, no, you've just made things worse. Like that comment, she's not going to want to sleep with you now, man. Not at all.
Hey, man, we'll see what the case is. We'll see what happens. Maybe she's the bad guy here. Who knows? So, my fiance and I have been together for 6 years. The first 5 of those were amazing and passionate, and we quite frankly couldn't keep our hands off each other. The last year and a half or so, though, has been rough because I lost my job for 4 months before finding a new one, and she's been going through some mental and physical issues as well. She stopped initiating intimacy or being receptive to my initiations, and now often recoils from my touch and my kisses, and seems to have a completely different personality from the first 5 years of our relationship. We've talked multiple times about how to rekindle and re-engage our sexual passion together, but she just never seems to want to actually act on it after we've talked. With all that said, she constantly talks about weddings and marriage and having kids together and how we'll raise these kids together. Don't get me wrong, I do want to have children, but it seems like putting the cart before the horse while we still have to figure out other aspects of our relationship. All this came to a head during a family dinner where she repeatedly talked about her plans for children and our life together, like kids were a foregone conclusion. I became visibly more and more withdrawn and uncomfortable until later when we were taking a moment together outside. She asked me what was wrong, and I responded with, we actually have to have sex in order to have children, right? Now she's yelling and screaming and swearing at me, and I've apologized multiple times. I probably could have phrased it better, but I don't think I was an asshole for pointing it out, especially since I did it in a private situation where nobody could hear me and nobody but me and her could have heard. I'm going to say I'm on his side for this one, Jack. I'm on his side. I've read enough of the r/dead bedroom subreddit to know that this is like...
Yeah, so hang on, remind me again, what suddenly was the switch for her to not be all over him and stuff anymore in the relationship? So he lost his job.
He lost his job for 4 months before finding a new one, but then she went through some physical and mental problems. What were the problems? So the last year and a half or so have been rough because I lost my job for 4 months before finding a new one, and she's been going through some mental and physical issues as well. She stopped initiating intimacy or being receptive, and now often recoils from my touch and my kisses, and seems to have a completely different personality.
Oh, so, yeah.
That's the thing. So what's going on? I think this is a her problem.
Oh, it absolutely
is
is a her problem.
squarely her problem.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he has tried his damnedest to bridge the gap. He's apologized, obviously, for what he has done wrong. I don't hear her apologies for changing as a person. I don't hear her apologies for saying that I want marriage and kids, but not working on, putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah,
and not being like, hey.
This is so valid of a situation where it's like, okay, he's not entitled to anything from her. Of course. But this is also a case where what she's done instead she clearly has gone through some situation. And instead of working on that sort of stuff for her health and therefore as well the health of their relationship, she's basically just been like, oh, I'm this sort of person now that's being a lot more miserable around you. And like in terms of like, I find you miserable to deal with in terms of intimacy, desire, and just wanting to connect with me. And you just have to deal with that now because this is me. This is who I am. Like if a guy suddenly started being like this, I just think of any sort of guy who just goes through some stress with work, and so they become a lot more closed off. They become a lot more distant with their partner, a lot more cold and stuff. You shouldn't have to just deal with that. That shouldn't just have to be the new dynamic you deal with in a relationship. No, you absolutely be like,
talk about why things change.
Yeah,
what's wrong? How can I help you?
Yeah. How can I help you as well? But also, what are you doing to help yourself figure this sort of stuff out? Like,
because we'll start throwing out words like toxic, hostile work environment.
Yeah.
If you continue this change that has been overall negative.
Yeah. Like in any sort of dynamic, even like friendships and stuff, you don't just tolerate your friend being an a-hole to you and being distant and cold just because they went through a rough patch. Like at some point, you are absolutely valid to be like what Opie's done here and just been like, hey, for us to actually be good friends, you actually have to respond to my texts, right? You have to actually communicate to me and make me feel like you like me as a friend and you want to be with me. Because look, I'm going to be flat out right here. I'm being fully biased about this because this sounds exactly like my past relationship.
Hell yeah, guys. Let it out, Jack.
Just the whole started out completely into each other and then like something did happen that was a very valid experience for her to be dealing with. And like she absolutely deserved the space and time to, come back to herself. But instead of her coming back to herself to a degree, she just was like this new path of a personality trait or like was this like new dynamic where like, oh, this is not at all the same dynamic we had when we started dating. And the only thing that changed was your perspective of how we were living together. And like, yeah, it just became so much more prominently just housemates who would talk about moving into another place together at some point, that kind of thing. And every time along the relationship, it was always a step of like, oh, well, if we get to that point, then maybe then she'll have some space for us to actually connect again like we used to. But nope, it was always just that, every time there was a new step forward, it was like, oh, well, she got what she wanted from the relationship. I'm still here trying to find out and work around whatever.
Is she ready to give me like what she agreed?
Yeah, like
on this bargain.
It was not even like give me like I wanted to connect with her again. But
it's a very common situation on the Dead Bedroom subreddit.
Yeah,
where a lot of there's the withdrawal of the intimacy.
Yeah,
the other partner's like, what's going on? Why?
Yeah,
this is a cornerstone of marriages. This separates us from just being friends, just being roommates.
Yeah,
like friends don't have sex, friends don't have intimacy like that.
Yeah,
that is a big dividing line, and it's like all of a sudden you've withdrawn that and it's a mutual agreement that we started. Why? How can we fix this? And they're like, okay, here's a checklist that you need to do. And it's like, okay, I'll do the checklist. Yeah. Does the checklist. Still nothing changes.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. It's like, I think the problem is too, like, it doesn't help that there's just so much more of a stigma that like when men desire sex, it must be for self-fulfilling reasons. It's just selfish pleasure. They're just too horny all the time. It's like, no, I desire that stuff because I want to be intimate. I want to be that closeness with someone. I
want to be connected to you as a person.
It's like the ultimate symbolism of just passion and love with someone else. To have that intimate moment with them. But
there's nothing wrong with wanting that.
And well, you can explore that too without necessarily being the full hanky panky. Like giving me back scratches, scratching my head as we're watching a movie or something together. That sort of stuff is something that like I was literally trying to get from her. There were
the same happened here in this story as well.
Yeah, it sounds exactly like that.
She withdrew all intimacy.
Yeah, and
it physically recoiled when you try to kiss her.
Yeah, well, I didn't get that as much, but it became a case of if I gave her a kiss on the head as I walked past her, she was sitting on the couch doing work. It was like there was such a lack of any sort of loving acknowledgement. And like
It just feels cold.
yeah,
you know?
and the thing is too, like you can, all this dead bedroom stuff, and like his case, he could do everything under the sun, but she's not doing any work herself, and that it's never going to change unless she puts in the work herself. Like,
Yeah, and I'm getting the feeling that she doesn't want to change.
yeah, and like, hey, look, I will acknowledge the fact that there are definitely a lot of women who like they do want this. I remember my relationship before this person was in this boat where she did want it, she just didn't. She just wasn't there for her. She didn't know how to get into. Again, this isn't just purely intercourse, intimacy stuff. This is genuinely like just in the mood to have intimate nights together, that sort of stuff. Like to get herself into the mood of it all. There's an Instagram I came across by the time we had broken up, so I didn't share this with her. But there's a great Instagram person
Look
I
at
suggest.
this! Look at this one!
Her name's the Libido Fairy on Instagram. Offers great advice and like tidbits and that kind of stuff. Even as a guy, it's like great for me to like times where even I'm struggling to be in the mood to do things that aren't necessarily the hanky panky levels of things. It's just in terms of getting into the mood to like do something that can inspire her likewise and her to inspire me likewise. Like it's great advice. Highly recommend.
This is my Meisner technique.
Yeah, basically. This is my acting technique, but in how to make relationships, stay exciting and
I'm not
fun.
connected and in the moment.
Yes, we're connected in
How
the
do I
moment.
get my brain there?
They suggest these like kings and queens night, where like once a month you do a night for each other, where it's like just a whole treat them like really special, and you'll maybe have like little candles on the floor and have a little picnic dinner on the floor sort of thing, or set up the bubble bath for them, that sort of stuff. And it's like it's only that time once a time in the month. You send them a little sheet and they fill out the sheet for you, and then you'd be like, okay, I have a week to prepare these things that they're keen on, and also things that they're not keen on, so I don't worry about that. And like it's great, it's fun.
Plus,
Love it.
a lot of it is like a momentum thing.
Yeah.
You don't get to the end point without starting somewhere and
Yes.
putting yourself through it. It will start off as very much not romantic and not sexy.
Yeah.
But it's about building that connection and getting yourself in the headspace and being ready for it. And if it happens
Yeah.
along the way, that's great.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have that little picnic, you have that indoor whatever you're doing just to connect, even if it's just watching a movie.
Yeah, I
That's
think
why
that-
it's the most common thing.
Yeah, I know we're really digressing a lot, but like I think it's that pressure to perform. I feel that a lot of women feel pressured by, like that they need to do what's seen on the adult movies and stuff, and like you don't need to. You don't always need to. It's great to strive to do that, sure, if you really want to make him go crazy for you. But a lot of the stuff out there could be also stuff that again, there's a difference between something that visually is nice to watch versus actually experiencing it. Can be a completely different ball game.
Let me whip out my Kama Sutra.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll go with this comment. I think it really summarized it well, what you were saying as well. So this is not the asshole. She's ignoring the rift and your concerns while cheerfully telling everyone about how you're going to be trapped in a sexless marriage with children. Mental health is a valid concern, but if she's doing nothing to address it, then that isn't on you. How are you supposed to be excited for a future with someone who doesn't even like you anymore, but will still use you for life milestones?
Yeah.
She wants you to apologize excessively to create a dynamic where you're the bad guy for pointing out contradictions until you stop doing it. And I said, that's how I felt in my last relationship. Whether it was something I did or didn't do, I feel like I was always apologizing for things that either was or wasn't my fault. Luckily, I'm in a much better relationship where we're putting communication as the number one priority. Sure, OP, you could have probably phrased that better, but I feel like that was also just frustration of not being seen, heard, touched, etc. And she wants to make you feel like the bad guy because she knows that she's in the wrong and had a part to play in all of this as well. So yeah, take it as what you will. There's no edit. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
I just think these guys need couples counseling if they want to continue and be honest with each other about why the dynamic is here now after 6 years together, what changed, and if it realistically will actually change. Because in a lot of situations like this, we see in the dead bedroom subreddit where one of the partners refuses to have sex and it's like, well, I still want the relationship. I still want you here. I still want kids. They will have sex for a short period of time so that they can have kids, get pregnant, and then immediately withdraw sex once again.
Yeah.
And they're like, I just wanted kids. So I got that. And I gave you what you needed. And then eventually it's just a ping pong game back and forth of like, all right, you're not giving me what I want. I'm putting my foot out the door and it's like, hold up, you're leaving? Wait, let me give you what you want. Let me love bomb you. And then, all right, then it's to do it again. And it's just constant, just cycles of that.
Yeah.
Until you get people posting like, we haven't had sex for 10 years and I'm still with her.
God.
You're like, oh God, brother. Or, oh God, sis. Yeah.
I fear ever being in that type of a relationship dynamic.
May this
God.
love never find me.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. My turn.
Last one with you, Jacko.
Yay. Alrighty.
Because this card's about to run out again.
Okay.
We're at that 1 hour, 5 minute mark.
All right. Okay. Let's go. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister I don't want her life after she said I wanted to be her? I, 24 female, have an older sister, Shannon, 27 female. We have different mums, but same dads. Lives in different households, but we still see each other growing up. There's always been this weird competition with her. I never cared to compete with her, but she would have this competitive behavior towards me. For context, my sister had her first child at 15, then her second at 17 with her first baby dad, and her third at 19, and she just had her fourth child.
Oh my God.
She got married at 20. She's a stay-at-home mom. Yeah, I guess you got to be with that many kids.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, but she acts like she unlocked some high level of adulthood because of it.
Oh my God.
Well, she'd have to. Like, I hope she's unlocked a level of adulthood because you need to with that many kids.
Yeah.
Now, I went a different route. I finished school, work full time. I've saved up money to move to a different state next year. I'm engaged. It's pretty cool. I don't have kids because I'm not ready yet. I want everything to be stable first. For the past few years, Shannon has made comments like, you low-key want my life, or you're mad because I have a husband, kids, and you don't. Oh my God. I can't appreciate myself without her making comments. If I say I want a big house, then Shannon would say, you mean a house like mine? You can't afford it. I can afford a lot, but I'm not going out my way to push it into her face. She does this unprovoked. I don't bother with her. I don't know what I did for her to always target me, but it's okay. I think she's jealous of the life I have. My life isn't perfect, but I'll explain. Shannon has always wanted to be a doctor. But when her kid's father came around, that seemed out the window. She dropped out of college for him because he didn't think it was worth it to go to college because she needed to stay home with the kids. She used to be a bubbly girl, but now she's like a drained girl. The color in her face is gone. Well, parenthood. When she
Tends to happen. 4 kids will do that.
When she would get job opportunities, he would shut it down, or he would take that job opportunity for himself.
Wow, what a loving and supportive man.
She doesn't have friends. He goes out more than her. Oh my God.
I don't think he's as involved as a father as she's making this out to be.
Oh, no wonder she's hating on her own sister because she's freaking jealous of it. She doesn't have friends. Yep, he goes out more than her. He's quit 3 jobs already, but she makes everyone on social media think he's a rich man.
So he's taking the jobs and then quitting.
He doesn't help out with the kids. He calls it babysitting.
Wow. We're hitting all the rage bait. We're hitting all the rage bait with this.
We are. Yeah, lol, how do you babysit your own child? He's dismissive to her missed their baby birth. Oh my God. Oh! Sorry, I just read ahead. Oh.
This is killing Jack.
It is because
she is
in denial. She is stuck in Egypt. She is trapped in the waves of the river itself. He's cheated on her twice.
Oh.
He talks down on her, makes fun of her weight like she didn't have multiple kids.
Wow. This is a good man to stick around. I'm jealous that I don't have a husband. I'm really jealous.
I hate this dog. I hate him so much.
You know what? Hey.
I hate him so much.
May this love never find me.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Shannon and I got into an argument at a family event. My dad was hosting it and invited me. At dinner, she said in front of everyone, "You'll grow up soon. Not everyone is ready for real adulthood." After she said that, I said, "Adulthood isn't a competition. I'm just choosing to be stable." She then said, "Why are you defensive? You wish you had what I had." She laughed after that. But I finally said, "I don't want your life. I don't want to struggle financially, and I definitely wouldn't want to be a married single mother." And everyone went silent after that. When I defend myself, then I'm the bad guy. But when she does it, people laugh. She cried and told our dad that I was judging her marriage and acting better than her. That's literally what she's been doing, though. Sorry.
The rage bait's getting to you, Jack.
It is. Now my dad is saying I owe her an apology because she's so sensitive about people thinking she made wrong choices. I don't think she made bad choices. I just think she's unhappy and trying to convince herself and me that she's better. Yeah.
Maybe. She might.
Hey,
who knows?
Who knows? Maybe she's valid. Maybe her kids are like perfect. And the only reason she's so drained is because she has such a fun, exciting time with her kids that she's drained when she sees you because you're just so exhausting and such an energy vampire. Mm-hmm. Because you're so miserable to be around, OP.
Those energy vampires will get you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, he wasn't there for his children's birth because he was busy working and hustling hard.
And then quitting that job.
Yeah, and then cheating on her twice because he was networking.
No, he was drinking and he was trying to get back at her because he was just a little upset.
Yeah, he was angry.
But at least he owned up to it twice.
Exactly.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's learned his lesson.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
God. Yeah. Okay, hang on. She had 2 children and went to college and dropped out, but her husband wanted her to stay home, but he let her go to college after having 2 kids. The math ain't mathing on your tail. Opie says, no, she went to community college on her own. He didn't make that decision for her. 2 of those kids aren't his, but I understand if I made it confusing. Apologies. Yeah, so the first 2 kids aren't his. They're from her first partner. The second 2 kids are his. Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Again, may this love never find me, Jack.
I what do you say to this aside from this is that you are valid?
OP, you're not the asshole here. She's throwing stones from glass houses.
Yeah. Oh.
Don't listen to her.
She's throwing Molotov cocktails from a straw house. That's what she's doing here.
OP, she has the dunce hat on. We don't listen to her.
Yeah.
What she's saying is it holds no water.
Some people are saying that she's like a psychopath and a narcissist. I think she's just a very super insecure person.
Yeah. I think she's made a lot of bad choices along the way and continues to make bad choices. And now she's trapped in a life of her own making. And I'm going to let her live her life.
Yeah.
Because this is where she wants to be, obviously. And who am I to deny her that? That's how I think this situation goes.
Yeah. Oh, this is interesting. Women who willingly pursue bum men do not deserve empathy, and they are too male-centered to ever learn from their ways. She is a lost cause.
That might be
shaming her for some internalized misogyny of some kind. I guess.
Hey,
sorry. Yeah. Internalized misogyny.
It is internalized misogyny. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a hard one, but there's not much dialogue I can provide besides like. You just have to ignore people like that.
Yeah, honestly.
They've made bad decisions. They are jealous. They are upset about the decisions they made in their life. Nothing you can say to that.
I think that, it sounds like this is a situation where, I mean, you could go no contact or low contact, which I think OP is kind of doing already anyway because she's only really hanging out when they're at family places.
You can ignore them or you can chew them out for their bad decisions and be like, don't you go talking shit when you've blown up your life.
Yeah.
Saying that you're mature. Look where you're at. You're like depressed and upset about your life all the time.
I think the only reason the dad here as well is encouraging OP to apologize is because he knows that OP is right. And he knows that unlike OP, the sister here would never be able to actually confront that and accept that and like be humble. Have some humility. She'd have to be like, ah! So he's like, okay, well, she's a lost cause to respect as a mature adult. Mm-hmm. She's just a child. We're going to have to treat her like an immature child who just gets upset when things don't go her way. So can you just play ball with us?
It's a bit of that don't rock the boat mentality.
Yeah.
He's like, who's the most reasonable in this situation?
Yeah.
Because obviously the crybaby here is wrong.
Yeah.
But I need to tell this one to apologize so that we don't have to take the wrath of this one instead. So the anger is directed this way and not at us.
Yeah.
And if the one that the anger is directed at can calm it down, they can just stay there. Because if she throws it back in their face, all of a sudden they come to us, then all of a sudden I have to deal with this. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, it's selfish. They'd be like, hey, can you be the scapegoat for us? Can you
Yes.
can you just be the
That is constantly what is asked in these stories.
be the family pinata, please?
Yes, because I don't want to have to deal with it. It's always like, oh, this person is homeless and you're not taking them in. You're selfish. And it's like, you also have a house in which you could take this person in, but you don't. You judge me for not doing so.
Yeah.
Why not you? You are also family.
Well, because you're just a bad person, you know?
Yeah.
Person. Yeah.
You suck. That's why.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, I think we'll end it there.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Thanks for watching, guys. Watch it on Spotify if you haven't as well.
Yeah. Do it.
For some reason, it just took off like no bananas on Spotify.
Yeah. Hello, people from Spotify. If you're listening to this,
Hello,
by
people
the way.
from Spotify.
It's nice to meet you. You can't see right now, but my feet are up.
No, they can see. There's video on it.
Oh, there is. Oh no! Oh, I teased without intending to tease as much as I did.
It's not an audio only thing on Spotify.
Damn it! Oh,
it's also video.
I'm so outdated with current technology. No, because like earlier in this episode, I've been like this, and I realized my feet were being exposed.
Your piggies are out for everyone to see.
Yeah,
Jack.
I was giving it all away, and like because I'm wearing skin-colored socks too, it looks even more raunchy and inappropriate. Like that should be for the Patreon sort of stuff.
Something wrong with you. We haven't even got the Patreon up.
I know. That's what I mean. We're gonna have to. We'll see if this podcast, if this episode gets up high views, we know why. Because this is the only episode where I've had these bad boys out.
The piggies are on sale for free.
Yeah, they're.
Oh my god,
they're on sale.
Goodbye.
Bye.